We literally just finished the day. $849 for literally like an hour of scalping. Got the whole session recorded live for you, so you get to see exactly how I took each trade. And then I give you the breakdown on why I take these trades, and you get to see a little more knowledge on why I know where price will go, where to set your stop loss, and mainly where to take profit. Because when you're scalping, taking profit can sometimes be an issue because the markets are moving so fast. You got to know the key areas of where price will actually go. And today during the live session, you'll get to see I actually break down why I know where price will go and exactly what tells me. So if you're interested in watching, go ahead and like the video and let's get started. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Today we're going to be doing some scalping on US 30, and that's all there is to it. Let's get right into it. Okay, so straight away I'm going to actually take a sell right here. Take a nice sell on that. Okay, so we got in for a sell. We're already up $30 profit. And the reason I did this is because straight away we can see we had a nice little green kind of push here on the MACD. And what happens is as the MACD goes up and you actually see, as the chart goes up and you see the MACD going down like this, that means we actually have a big weakening in momentum, but we still have price moving up. So that means there's going to be quite a big pullback here. As you can see right here, this kind of used to be a trend on a smaller time frame. So this will be a perfect spot for price to come down and test this line. And that will be where I'll be taking my profit most likely. Oh yeah, this is looking nice right here. We're already up $300 on that trade alone. If you want to hit some really nice trades, pay attention to divergence. Divergence helps a lot. You know, you see it happen all the time. Yeah, like you can even see here, same thing. You know, you have price moving down, but yet on the MACD, you have price losing momentum. So literally from here, price is going up on the MACD, but price is still in a downwards direction. And then look, right after that, we have price shoot way up there. I'm gonna try to hold on to this till about here. We can even actually probably take profit here just because this is an area where there's been quite a bit of support before. So we're gonna probably try to take our profit there. Price is moving up right now, but that's okay. We're still gonna hold on to this. As we see price coming up right here like this, price is literally just retesting this trend right here. As you can see, this was a nice little uptrend here. Price broke that and it's literally just retesting it, and now it's gonna drop. All right, so this one was taking a little bit of its sweet time. It ended up going back up. It ended up testing actually the very high here, so it's good to set your stop loss above that. It ended up just bouncing off of that, and then it kind of hung around here a little bit, once again testing this zone that I marked out earlier. And then after this just happened just now, I was like, hey, it's good. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm actually gonna take my profit right now for an easy $680, and then we're gonna wait for the next trade there. So AAAFX has a deal going on right now that if you deposit $100 minimum, and this actually scales all the way up to $5,000. So if you deposit $100 minimum, you'll get a 30% bonus on top of that $100. So if you have a $100 account, you're gonna get an extra $30 on top of that. Comes as a credit, so it's gonna help you with your leverage. It's also gonna act as a loss protection. So if your account goes into drawdown, that $30 is actually gonna help you to keep your account alive. So that can be really good for those scalpers out there who like flipping accounts and things like that. But yeah, and then this scales all the way up to $5,000. So even if you put $1,000 in, you're gonna get an extra $300 to help you trade. Just absolutely insane. So if you're interested in getting that deposit bonus, use my link down below. It's also a limited deal that's going on right now. I'm actually not sure how long it's going to last, but it is limited. So take advantage of that deal while it lasts. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get into another sell here. We're gonna go for another sell on US 30. We're actually at a really good point right now for a sell. So go for a sell right there. Boom. We are now in a sell. Same thing, exactly like the last thing I just showed you. It all has to do with the MACD. We have some divergence going on the MACD. So this is a perfect time to get in for a trade. Once again, it's gonna kind of play around up here, but eventually it's gonna drop back down. And here I'm gonna take a little bit less profit on this trade. I'm actually gonna probably go just for like maybe like a 1-to-1. I'm thinking price will most likely come down to these levels right here. See, we got a lot of this support going on here. We had a little bit of resistance up in this area. So this is going to be a great spot for price to test down here. And that will be a good area for us to take profit. Okay, guys. So unfortunately, price wasn't able to test that zone. It wasn't moving down at all, and it tried multiple times to even just pass by this. So this trade's most likely going to end up in a loss. It's okay though, because here we were only risking 300 and we already made 600. We're taking our $10 loss and we're just going to move on. Now, normally it's not a good thing to exit your trade early, but however, we have proof here that taking a break-even loss was the right play here, because obviously we had this divergence, and divergence does mean that when it flips to the opposite, so in this case that being bearish, because it turned bearish, it means that we were gonna have a little bit more momentum to the downside. However, I guess we're in such a bullish market right now that it wasn't even able to pass this. That's also a good thing, because it shows that we're in a very bullish market right now, and that means we can look for further buys. So for example, we have some slight divergence going on here. Like price is still hanging down here even though it's flipping. Now obviously now we have this super bullish candle coming in, so we can go ahead and just wait it out a bit. That's the thing with trading. Patience is very important here. So like obviously you see it skyrocketing up now, and you're gonna want to jump in. That's what most beginner traders do, but this is a perfect opportunity for us to wait. We might even wait for a whole new set of green MACD to form, pull back into the red MACD, and then go for a buy. But until that happens, we're just going to sit here and we're going to wait it out. So guys, this is why it's so important and critical to learn the language of Forex. Like, I was able to understand why price would not continue down to this lower portion that we thought price would go down to. I was able to see the signs. I was able to see the confirmations that let me know that price was going to move higher and go into my stop loss. So it's important to learn all the confirmations, all the technical analysis that will allow you to see where price will move to, how price will react at different levels. What does that mean? So these things can all be learned, and I teach quite a bit of this on my YouTube channel. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead here and wait for our next trade. Hopefully after this green MACD ends, turns into a nice little red downtrend here, and we'll most likely go for a buy from what we've seen so far, but that could change. We have to always pay attention and see exactly how price is reacting. Okay, so now we have price testing this area quite a bit. It has been rejecting off of this area quite a bit as well. We know that price had trouble going through here. Something we have to be careful of is there is divergence going on here. So if we do take our profit, it's just gonna be right here. Nothing too crazy, just to make it simple, easy trade. So we're gonna go for a buy here. Yeah, so the reason I'm not expecting price to go too high, I'm just expecting it to test the recent high here, because we have this divergence going on here. We have this high going to a high, it's in an upward direction. Then we have this high in the MACD going to this high, and it's a downward direction. That means we're losing a lot of bullish momentum. But like I said, that's fine. This means is that once we hit this point up here, there's not a lot of bullish momentum that will continue after this point. If we have bullish momentum come back into the market, it means that it will most likely just hit this point here and not really continue further past. So we're actually really close to our stop loss there. I would say we did enter a little early there. We were getting a little too greedy, jumping the gun a little bit. Normally I like to wait for the MACD to kind of form first before entering, and it hit its peak down here. So obviously entering a little bit back would have been better. But that's something I kind of overlooked a little. But we also kind of knew that price was gonna struggle getting down here, so that's why we put our stop loss below there. Always stick to your trading plan. Like I said, I'm just gonna take my profit here. Doesn't matter if it goes further past or not. We said we would take our profit there, so we took our profit there. And who can complain? $850 on the morning. Only been trading for about an hour, I would say. So probably just gonna end it right here. I like to aim for $1,000, and we're pretty much near that, so may as well end it for the day while we're up. Can't get too greedy. And that's the thing. You just gotta find these few trades every single morning. Boom, bam, boom. Make your money and get out. That's how I like to scalp, at least. Yeah, let's quickly go over these trades that we took. Let's break them down. First trade that we took was a sell. Okay, so this is more of a 1 to 2 trade that we had here. This was good. This was a good way to start the day because when you start with a 1 to 2, you can take a single loss and still be up profit. I saw a lot of potential in this trade, specifically, like I've talked about before, because we had this downtrend right here. So I knew that price was going to be likely to target this area here, especially because if you look at this, so this isn't a downtrend. Like you can't see the downtrend obviously because we're on the 1 minute. But if you were to go to like the 15-second or the 5-second time frame, you could clearly see that this is in a major downtrend here. And when we have breaks out of these downtrends, like we had here, price likes to come back and tap into these zones. I've talked about this before. Obviously, I took my profit a little bit higher than that because I don't like to go exactly where I think price will go. Anytime I think price will go to a certain area, I like to take my profit slightly before that. I don't want to overestimate what I think will happen. So I like to underestimate it a little bit. That way I actually secure the bag. Anyways, so now same thing here. This was in an uptrend. We had price have this. Here, let me clear this up so it looks a little bit more easier to understand. Downtrend, price broke out. This is a good area where I think price will come back to. Green MACD formed a nice little green MACD uptrend here. We had divergence going on. We had price continuing to go higher, but yet we had price going lower on the MACD. This showed me that there was a big weakening of this bullish momentum, that we were going to have price fall off. We had price fall off. Where is it going to go to? Well, it's going to go to where I think it's going to go to. That was the break here. You know, it's good too because we had this as a kind of support here, but knowing that we have this fall off of the bullish momentum, we know that we have a strong enough trend to break through this, and we did, and that's where we took our profit. And then when it came to the stop loss, it's super simple. Obviously, just set it above there, and we had price come close, but not close enough to actually touch into our stop loss, and we secured the trade there. Our next trade that we successfully did here, when it came to take profit, this is what I was thinking. So we had a high to a high going higher, and then we had a high to a high going lower on the MACD. This shows that we're going to have a nice pullback because this means we are having a weakening of bullish momentum. We had that weakening of bullish momentum. So that brought price back to this low here. I should have expected that, honestly, but what made me get in was I saw a lot of resistance going on here. So I ended up entering a little bit earlier, but luckily I know where to set my stop loss. I knew that we came to this area before and struggled while we had bullish momentum. So I knew that since we still have some sort of momentum to the upside, probably going to test this zone again, and at the bare minimum test this high once again. So that's where I put my take profit, just because I knew I wanted to test this high again. And then here's the thought process on the trade too. This is a smaller risk to reward, which is fine. If we win, we're still making at least $200 or $270 is what we made, something around that. But if we lose, we're still up $600 from this trade. This will only be about a $300 loss, and then we're still up $300 on the day for profit. I was willing to end the day on a $300 profit either way, so luckily we ended up not hitting our stop loss on this trade, and we ended up ending the day on like a nice $800 and something day. Now, most of you would continue to go on trading, but this is very important to remember. Once you hit those few trades in the morning, you've done your scalping, you're only a couple hours into the day, just take a rest, come back the next day and do more trading, especially because the markets are going to move much nicer in the earlier morning anyways. You may as well take advantage of that. Like I said, AAAFX is having a bonus going on right now. So if you haven't signed up with AAAFX, go ahead and sign up with them. You will literally get a 30% bonus on top of whatever you deposit, as long as it's over 100 USD. That's easy, free money to trade with. That's more leverage for your scalping trades. So go ahead and sign up with them. Take advantage of that deal right now because it is limited time. Thanks for watching.